Hi, and welcome to Designing for Casual Elegance 2025. And I'm sure you might be wondering what I have behind me. We are creating a new set for this spring, and I will talk about that a little bit later because I would like you, our viewers, to be involved in this and helping select a color. So today's show will be about the color and trend forecast for 2025. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It doesn't cost anything. It just helps us to grow and become stronger. You are our support group. So thank you. And okay, color forecast. We will start with the paint. And today on the board, I have got Benjamin Moore's colors, but we'll compare Sherwin-Williams also. And I think probably everybody may have heard by now, Pantone's color of the year is called Mocha Mousse, and it's a rich brown with an earthy undertone. I do not have a picture of it, but it's kind of a mix. They've decided it's time to go a little bit warmer in color and add color to your home. So we will start with Benjamin Moore's Cinnamon Slate. This is their color of the year. It is a heathered plum with a velvety brown undertone. Depending on what you put with it, you're going to see those colors come out. Just a regular neutral between warm and cool, you could pull it either way, is sea salt. I think this could be a lot of fun to work with. And leather saddle brown. Well, as you can guess, this color was inspired by a worn saddle, which makes sense. And you can see there's definitely some red in that. It is more of a red-brown than a true pure brown. Next, we have Clowning's Tan. This color is a rich tan. It is a combination or a blend of 18th century white with yellow ochre, which I think is a very interesting combination. This is a perfect wall color. If you have a lot of antiques and really want them to stand out, this would be a wonderful wall color for you. Next, we're going light, tissue pink. This is interesting. It is kind of a blush color. It has apricot undertones. This is definitely not a blue pink, warmer. All of these colors, definitely have warm undertones. And that is the direction that everybody is going. So just a nice, soft, pretty color. And then we have this deep teal called Stained Window, or Stained Glass. And I have a friend here who is sitting watching taping who has this color sweater on. I mean, it's the exact same thing. And I told her she should come up and model it for us, but I couldn't coax her into doing it. So next, we have Ashwood, and this is a graphite green. Like a deep, deep, deep forest. And we go to Rose Pine, which is a forest green, but there's definitely gray undertones in that. Paris Rain, which is a very, very light sage green. And Glacier White. And you can see this is a creamy white. It is not a white. And the reason I like to put the colors on a white board is so that you can see what the undertones are, but not only that, the depth of color that is in each one of these. Now, Sherwin-Williams has some similar colors. Unfortunately, my large samples didn't make it, but Grounded is one of theirs, and you can see we've got something in the brown family. Sun Bleached, which it is a white, but you can see it's more white than either the sea salt or the glacier white. Okay, this one I think is really interesting, a great accent color. I'm not going to use it, but somebody out there may want to. This is chartreuse. And it keeps popping up from time to time, which I think is interesting. And it really is a great accent color, depending what your style of decor is. Rain cloud. Here again, we are into a deep teal. This has a lot of gray in it, so you can see the difference there. Clove, deep, deep, deep brown, and you can see definitely doesn't have the green in it, but again, a dark color, just like Benjamin Moore. Malabar, this is just a beautiful neutral beige or tan color. You know, this would work pretty much anywhere. This could be if you subscribe to the 60-30-10 idea of 60% of your walls should be just a nice neutral color, 30% a little more color, 10% accent color. Bosque pear. And here again, a little bit more gold than the clownings, but like I said, there are similarities. White snow, and you can see how much whiter white this is than what they're calling white. But that is true of any paint company. And this one I think is really pretty and will help pull out the plum in cinnamon slate. That is mauve finery. And I know a lot of us who have lived through the mauve and gray keep saying, oh my gosh, it's not coming back. Well, they keep trying to bring it back. It's not really taking off the way that I think they thought it would. Now we also have, I don't know if anyone is familiar with Clark & Kensington. I do love Clark & Kensington paints. They go on very easily. We can find it at Ace Hardware. And again, some similar colors, not a whole lot, but a lot of variety. I think the most important thing to remember when you are decorating your home, be true to yourself. If you are a cottage style, then you want to stay within that. If you are contemporary, you know, it's going to be completely different, or a lodge style. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into some of the trends. The one that I thought was really, really interesting was Valspar. Their color of the year is this bright blue, which I believe they call Adventure. Interesting, but definitely a lot more brightness than anything that Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams are showing. So that's where colors are leaning. You know, wanted to go into these different tones. And like I said, Pantone, I did not explain. They are a color company, and they like to create a universal language of color for the industries. So the other thing we have going on are going to be the trends. First, I want to define trend and trendy. Trend. Well, a trend is something that's prevailing or starting to come up, and that's becoming stronger. And trends are usually around, used to be 10 years. Now, a lot of times it's only 5 years, and that is because of our age of technology. It's making everything go a little bit faster. So the other, trendy, on the other side, that is synonymous with fad. And you used to hear that word a lot. Now you hear trendy. So, you know, it may become fad may become one of those words that becomes obsolete. So as far as trends go, we have some very interesting trends for 2025. And the first one is color drenching. Color drenching is, I think that's our first photo. When you paint your walls, your trim, and your ceiling all the same color. This is a technique that I think can be very effective in a small space. In a larger space, I don't think it would have the impact. Our first color drenching photo was cinnamon slate, and the one that you're going to see now is the stained glass. And you can see the ceiling, the trims, everything. When it comes to doing color drenching, trim costs a lot of money to have put in your home. So to see everything the same color, I really want my trim to show off. So you can do a couple of things. Keep in mind, you can use 2 different colors from your color card. Let's say you're going to go dark walls. You want to go up at least 2 colors because you will not see a lot of difference between colors that are right next to each other on the color card. The other thing you could do is use 2 different sheens. Say if your walls are matte, then you could do satin on your trim. If your walls are eggshell, you could do a semi-gloss. So these are ways that you can still make your trim stand out, but still have a color-drenched room. And I kind of chuckle because about 20 years ago, I did a color-drenched room in a dining room with burgundy shades. So everything just kind of comes back around. The other thing in drenching is material drenching. Now, this can be granite, this can be marble. You know, a lot of times you'll see the countertop and then the same thing coming up onto the walls. Those are some ways of using material, wood paneling. But again, taking it all the way up your walls onto the ceiling. But I think most of us know it as wallpaper, draperies, and bedding, which is one way you see it. And I think we have a photo of that. This is from Tebow, who is famous for wallpaper and fabric drenching. I like this best if you're using toile fabrics, a beautiful toile wallpaper with matching drapes, bedding. You can go as far as you want or hold back a little bit. But again, everything is just being piled on. But you have to stop and think, can I live with that? Can I live with it for 5 years? Can I live with it for 10 years? Doing wallpaper and then custom drapes and bedding is going to cost a lot of money. It's a big commitment, but can be very effective. So color drenching is huge. The next thing we're going to talk about is flooring and changes in flooring going on once again. The biggest thing is wide plank for every home is gone. We're going back to a 4-inch. It used to be 3.5. I think standard now is 4-inch. You will see this a lot in traditional homes. However, if you are a lodge style or a cottage style or even a period style, I once did a room that was based on William Morris's bedroom in England. So we did use a 10-inch wide plank that looked great. So, but this is just a standard neutral floor with a 4-inch plank becoming very common. I think we have that photo. Yes. Other interesting thing in flooring, and I love this, is the checkerboard. Now, checkerboard, the way they've done it here, and this is from an old Minwax book that I've had for, well, it's from 2002. They used to do these, wood beautiful, and I've saved it. We actually did this technique in our house in Kansas in my husband's home office. Loved it. And the way to do this is you first pick out your light color or leave the floor natural, put on a coat of polyurethane, then you tape off your design and put your dark stain on. Pull the tape when it's dry and ready, and then put 2 more coats of whatever your sealer is going to be. So just a fun technique. Of course, it can be done with paint also. You want to make sure to use specific paints. Did that for a client, and Never did get pictures of it, but the stained, two-tone stained checkerboard, I did actually end up working with 2 clients on. So we are going to continue moving through trends after we take a short break.
Since 2008, Joel's Upholstery and Fabrics in Bentonville has been your go-to destination for top-notch upholstery and fabrics. With over 25,000 yards of in-stock upholstery and home decor fabrics, vinyls, leathers, and a vast design library, we make reupholstery easy and affordable. Our expert staff is available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to assist you. We cater to both commercial and household upholstery needs. Stay updated on our latest news, sales, and projects by following us on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back. Okay, we're going to continue with our trends. We're going to talk a little bit about furniture. And for the longest time now, furniture has had bare legs. We haven't seen that many skirts other than a lot of Parsons chairs, or you'll see traditional club chairs going back to style. You know, some people love it, some people don't. Our first chair is just a plain skirt, goes straight down. It's your basic traditional skirt. Like I said, club chairs, sofas, you know, whatever. If that's a style you prefer, go with it. Second, we have a little variation. This is a gathered skirt. And again, this is from Tebow, who I love the Tebow company, their wallpapers, their fabrics, their trims, but best of all, their photos of room shots for inspiration are incredible. So skirts are back, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do with those skirts. Here is one more style of skirt. This is a shorter chair, but this can be done on a club chair, on a sofa. It is a little pleated skirt. And I kind of love this. It's fun, it's kicky, would be great to have in a kitchen. So that's just one thing that's coming up with furniture. The other thing that's coming back is fringe. So fringe can be used in the seams, like on this little French chair, which is, it's just a real curly, tight brush fringe. And, you know, it's just one of those finishing touches. French country, English country uses a lot of embellishment on their draperies, their furniture, not unusual. We go back and forth with it, and perhaps they do too, but it's pretty much you see it almost all the time on their furnishings. Bullion fringe, you will see it on a tablecloth, and if you are going to put it on a sofa or a chair and you've got a skirt, there is fringe that comes that long, so it goes on top of your skirt so that you have all of this fringe, which is a beautiful embellishment instead of just a plain skirt. I like all of these. You know, there's some, you got to pick and choose what you are going to do. Like I said, decorating your home does cost a lot of money, and you want to make sure you make the right choices. So study it. Think through. Can I live with this? I love it today. Do I love it 5 years from now? You want to make sure that you're getting the bang for your buck if you commit to one of these things. Now, we also have architectural features. And a big thing with architectural features, arches. And arches, I mean, you will see them in doorways, windows, even regular cabinets. You know, we've had shaker, you know, with just your squared off trim or raised panel, flat panel. In a little eyebrow is what they call it if you just curve the top a little bit. However, in this photo, you can see the arched cabinets, which, you know, you've got all of these other cabinets that are dropped down, and then the two focal point arched cabinets. Arched mirrors, that has been around for a long time. Nothing new. You'll see all styles of mirrors, I think, at any given time. again, to accommodate whatever style you've decorated your home in. Okay, this last photo of arches, this was my last project before going into semi-retirement. Fabulous, fabulous project. This arch starts at the gable outside and comes right into the foyer. And then, of course, it has the wood going all the way around. Great client, lots of fun, and that is the most perfect example of an arch. So those are all some of the things that are trending. Another one is textured walls and ceilings, but we're not talking popcorn. Popcorn is still gone, more orange peel. And on walls, you're starting to see Venetian plaster. Okay, who doesn't remember all of the different faux painting that we drenched our houses in, oh gosh, what, 15, 20 years ago? So, it was fun, it's past, but coming back as Venetian plaster, it's very soft. It actually is a pretty finish. And you can find wallpapers if you don't want to make the commitment to the paint, which does take a long time. You really need a professional to get the technique exact. You can find wallpaper that will look just as good. So texture walls and ceilings. Ceilings, again, wood on the ceiling, wallpaper on the ceiling, even your crown molding trims going around. Trims are just one of those things that a lot of people like to do in their homes to add that little extra. And here again, depends on your style. Stone walls, wood paneling. Wood paneling apparently is getting really big. Not just beadboard and wainscoting, but wood paneling up your walls onto the ceiling, again, going back to material drenching. So a lot of things, and I think we see these over and over again. Take your time, think it through. I do like the touches of wood, and I love wallpaper. So anyway, I did say at the beginning that I have a kind of a creative corner in progress behind me. So what is happening is we are getting a new set for 2025, and I'm pretty excited about it. And what I would like viewers to do is take a look. I have 3 different color boards that I put together, and I would like you to go to comments and vote on which color you like. Now, we may have to make some adjustments depending on how these colors look on camera. So, but the colors will stay within that family. Number 1, we have a warming peach, and then a couple different fabrics. Wood finish for any furniture that would be in that room, and flooring. Hardwood floors throughout, and we'd probably have an area rug to pull it all together. So we may have to go darker in color, again, to see how it looks on camera. So that is number 1, is the peach tones. Number 2, this is a blue-green. I like this color a lot, but I don't want to influence anybody. Color number 2, which is your blue-greens with kind of a salmony coral. Again, your wood finish. Actually, this would be drapery hardware. And we have this darker blue. Now, this could be done either way. Let's say if you wanted to have picture frame molding at the bottom of your wall for wainscoting, or if you wanted to do beadboard, it would be a lot of fun to do your upper wall in the lighter blue, but then do the deep, rich color in the lower part, all your wainscoting. I think that would be really dramatic, would be a lot of fun. So this is number 2. And I really want to know what everybody thinks about it. Okay, number 3, we're getting into the green family. This is shagreen, another great color. Nice little, just a check. And we could go green or yellow with this. Again, wood tones that look really good with it. And so this is number 3, which is our greens. Now, I know none of these exact colors are in our, I'm going to put these out, either Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore. This was probably close to the tissue pink, getting a little bit deeper. And of course, our greens are a little more sage. When it comes to doing colors, I'm a warm color person, so I'm going to lean more this direction than I am this, even though these are warm undertones. They're a lot cooler and heavier than I'm personally going to do. And color drenching, I'm probably not going to do unless it's in a little powder bath and I can make it real dramatic. Would be fun to try for a while, but I would probably get tired of it fairly quick. I'm going to leave these up, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And I do hope that everybody gets involved and goes into the comments and votes for one of these. We're going to try and have it ready to reveal for our February show, which will be February 12th. So there it is. That's your trend forecast. I'm sure I've left some things out, and your color forecast. It's going to be a great year. Looking forward to it. And remember, we are a nonprofit. I thank you all for joining me today. We like your support. You help us grow, and we are all volunteer here. So I'm going to say thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.